Okay. Um, so, um, I know I have not posted in a while. Reason being because I have been busy. Um, I don't know what you could really call this video. You know, my channel is my channel is a fitness, lifestyle, karate channel. So let's just say this is more of the lifestyle side of my channel. Um, I don't know how long this video is gonna be. So, I mean, if you want to exit out, I'll just tell you now, this is not a rant, but more of me just voicing my thoughts. You know, when I made my last video, I told y'all how I was going to the military, and you know, in the military, for my height, I have to be a certain weight. I have to be 154 for my height. And for me, 154 pounds, for you people overseas who don't use our scale system. But for me, that's kind of impossible because my body type, you know, I have an athletic body type. I've always weighed more than everybody wherever I've been, you know, middle school, intermediate school. Last time I weighed 154 was in intermediate school. You know, everybody else, all these other girls weighing 130 and 120, and I'm over here self-conscious weighing 154. And this is back when I used to really care about my weight. You know, all these girls are weighing 120, I'm over here weighing 154, and I would just sit there and lie about it and say, "Oh yeah, I'm 118 or I'm 115," knowing dang well that I'm 154. And it's not because I'm fat, because I'm not. You know, I've been in sports, or I've always been athletic, you know, whether it been gymnastics or cheerleading or currently now karate and fixing to be the army. So I've always been athletic, and so with that, I've always been muscular. And as all of you know, muscle weighs more than fat. And so, yes, I've weighed more than my peers around me all my life. And so, you know, I was weighing in at 174 before I even went to my recruiting station. You know, they weighed me and everything, and they told me that I was overweight. You know, I'm 174 and I'm 5'5", but it's not 174 pounds of fat. It's, you know, like 165 pounds of muscle and maybe like 5 pounds of fat. And so when they told me that I needed to cut weight down to 154, I was just thinking, that's kind of impossible. And, you know, I've been dieting. You know, I was really going in, and I went with what they said, and I dieted for 3 weeks before I had to take my physical. I only got down to 156. You know, I didn't make weight. So they had to tape me, and I didn't make measurements either. But when they put my weight and my measurements together, I ended up being 2% under some thing they go by where you have to be 30%. I don't know how it goes, but I know I had to be 2% under 30. 30 is the max that I could be for my BMI, and I was 4% under when I was at MEPS. And that was good, but throughout this whole process, I really do know that I cannot get down to 154. For me to get down to 154 pounds would be very unhealthy for me. Because you I feel like when they do these things, they don't take in consideration, you know, how much, they don't take in consideration things like how much physical activity this person does, you know, or how much muscle this person has. They go by how much fat this person has, or just, oh, you're this height, so you're supposed to weigh this much. They don't go by different body types. And for me, like with the whole measurement thing, right? I'm supposed to be like a 24 or a 23 in the waist, but that's freaking impossible for me because I have wide ribs and a short torso. And if you could picture this, picture, this is your torso, right? And if you have wide ribs and a short torso, there's no room for your waist to go in. And the only way that I could get a smaller waist is if I did waist training, with the corsets, and I made my ribs shift, or if I took ribs out. That's the only way my waist could get smaller, because I'm feeling my stomach right now, and I have absolutely no fat on top of my ribs. It's just skin and ribs. That's all it is. Granted, I may have a little bit of a put, but that's just, every woman has that. It's for when we have babies. But even when I don't have that put, and I've been doing, my workouts regularly, the smallest my waist can get is a 28 or a 27. Around 27 to 30 is my waist range. And so when I just think of things like that, I think of how they don't really take in consideration somebody's body type or somebody's bone structure. And it just really frustrates me because I'm over here stressing myself out because I can't make weight or I can't make measurements. And I'm over here weighing 174 and 160 and stuff when I need to be 154. And I already know that it's really impossible for me to weigh that much. And if I was to weigh that much, I would be very unhealthy right now. And I mean, I could take responsibility for this week. This week I was going strong, and this week I really let myself go. My sister was in town. We were all having fun, and I was just eating however I wanted to eat. I was eating pretty bad. And me doing that, I gained 6 pounds. So now I'm 166, and I'm supposed to be weighing 154. And I know I leave October 8th, which is a far ways out from now, but it's just the fact that I can't even eat one small piece of pie, or I can't even eat, a plate of spaghetti without having to worry about me gaining 6 pounds from that. And it's really frustrating. Because when I first started out, it was really hard for me, which still is hard for me with the whole food thing, because I love food. I am a very strong food lover. I love to eat food when I'm hungry. I love to eat food because it tastes good, and I love to eat food because I'm bored. And you can judge me all you want, but I love food, so I'm going to eat it. Granted, I should probably take in consideration what I eat and that I could eat better. But, when I first started out with this diet, I had cut myself down to 500 calories a day. I was eating, which really helped, and it wasn't that bad because I really wasn't that hungry, but I just had that, I was eating plain oatmeal for breakfast. I was eating a can of mackerel for lunch, and then I was eating a salad for dinner. And in all of this, I couldn't have any sugar, I couldn't have any salt, and then I could barely have any water because I have to deal with water weight. And so on top, I love water. So on top of me not being able to eat anything that I like, I couldn't even have any water. And yes, I like the way that my body turned out from this diet and everything, but at what cost was it benefiting me mentally? You know, it really was not. I may have been good on the outside, but on the inside, it was really frustrating. And I had this one day where I thought, man, I have to make weight. And I was watching a bunch of videos of people doing water fasting. And I was like, if I do water fasting for the next 3 days before I have to go to MEPS and weigh in, then I could cut 10 pounds. And so I was going to water fast, but it really wasn't that good for me because all I was doing was watching food videos, and I was sitting there and I was sitting on the couch watching food videos, and my dad came by me and he's like, "What's your problem?" I'm like, "I'm hungry, but I can't eat." And he's like, "Why are you not eating? It's not going to help you, because if you eat, then you're going to gain weight, because then your body's going to go in fat storage mode." And so, that night he made me eat a protein bar, but I was crying the whole time I was eating it because I'm really trying to make weight, and I don't want a small thing like weight to keep me from being able to do something that I really want to do. But I just wish that it wasn't. I wish that there was more taken into consideration when it came to weight, height, body type, and all that other stuff. Because though I'm 5'5" and I was weighing 174, I am very physically fit, and I could have probably done better. I could have ran faster. I could have done more push-ups. I could have done more sit-ups than somebody who was 5'5", weighing in at 154. So I just, and then this is just a rambling video. Wow, rambling video. So I was going strong, back to my story. I was going strong, and, I was going through the diet, but I noticed my change of emotions, and I was very moody. I was sad. I don't even cry, but I was crying because I love food and I can't even have the food that I want. And it wasn't that bad that I wasn't having salt, because I figured out different ways to make chicken, which is basically putting the whole spice cabinet on the chicken except for salt. So the chicken wasn't that bad, but it's just eating the same thing every day, oatmeal, mackerel, salad, oatmeal, mackerel, salad every day. It gets tiring and it drives you insane. I look forward to eating because it's something that makes me happy. And the fact that I couldn't even do that because I have to worry about, man, if I eat this Crustable, I'm going to gain 5 pounds. Or, man, if I drink too much water today, I'm going to gain a lot of weight. And, when I'm sitting here cutting my diet to 500 calories a day, and I'm working out 4 times a day, and I'm still not weighing in at 154, it makes me realize, like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'm not supposed to weigh this much. Maybe it's impossible for me to weigh this much. Or maybe it is possible, but it's unhealthy for me to weigh this much. And it would be unhealthy for me to weigh 154. Because that's not how much I'm supposed to weigh. Oh, man. I just wish this was easy. I hate the fact that I have to worry about what I eat. I know I need to worry about what I eat. And I'm all for eating healthy and stuff. But there are some times where there are some times when if you want a piece of pie, then eat a piece of pie. If you want a fudge bar, then eat a fudge bar. Or something like that. And I know all I have to do is just make weight for October 8th. That's all I gotta do is make weight before I leave. But this is harder than I thought. I thought it was just gonna be cutting the weight and passing. Nope. It's not just cutting weight, you know? It's not just a physical process. It's a mental process. It's a soul process. Because honestly, I've been praying so hard throughout this whole process. Granted, I did fail this week, and I'm trying not to beat myself up about it, but when I gained 6 pounds, which I know is all my fault, it really stresses me out. So I'm really hoping that these next few weeks before I go off to basic go good. I'm going to try not to go hard on myself because I did gain 6 pounds back. But, I mean, there's always repercussions for mistakes. That's really all I wanted to talk about. I mean, I could go on and on for hours, but it was just something that was on my mind that I need to talk about. I'll see y'all later. Talk to y'all in my next video. Sorry this video was very serious. I know y'all like to see my smile all the time, but hey, everybody has bad days sometimes. See y'all later.